to Couchside coverage. I'm your host, Keegan Jackson, and today I have a special guest,
Yes,
Wesley.
sir.
How you been, man?
I've been good, man. I'm living the dream. I'm ready for football season. I
Yes,
know you're a
sir.
Colts guy, but I'm expecting a big year for my Patriots.
Are you a Patriots fan?
Yes, sir.
Dude, I let a Patriots fan on on this Colts podcast.
You
No
gotta have some
way,
realism.
man.
Yeah, man.
No
I'm
way.
coming
What did I?
here. You done messed up. I'm coming here to honestly shit on the Colts because they made a lot of dumb
No.
choices.
Dumb
Yeah.
choices. All right, all right, all right, all right. Let's talk about the Colts and Pats. Uh, practice yesterday. So what did you see? I want to know what you saw.
So I saw, for one, I saw AJ Brown make some plays on Sauce, right? Now you can get into debates on whether who really won the matchup. A lot of times it's hard to tell, but I see Drake May throwing beautiful balls. I don't really see the same from the Colts. You know, I'm seeing a lot of great defense. I'm from the Patriots side. I'm excited to see Christian Gonzalez and AJ Brown iron sharpening iron every day at practice. I think you're going to see AJ Brown look like the number one receiver in the NFL this year. And I think you're going to see Christian Gonzalez fully healthy being way better than Sauce Gardner. I'll tell you that right now.
So I'm a big Ducks fan, and Christian was one of the best corners I've ever seen out of University of Oregon. So I'll say maybe on that, but that's one clip. Have you seen the clips of Josh Downs cooking your corners? So I mean, it's one clip, and reports have came out that Colts won the day. They won the day. It's one clip. That's
Now,
all you got is one clip.
we know how training camp is, though, because the training camp, you never know. You hear stories like last year, I remember hearing like JJ McCarthy was like the truth. And then he came out and, like, the first game, he ended up scoring that late touchdown. And I think they won the game, the Vikings did. And then the rest of the season just. And you know how Anthony Richardson, he looks like the GOAT in training camp. You know that. And then you go and he can't even make a easy short cross pass. So
Yeah.
it's hard to tell, but I'm looking at like this. The Colts have really hurt themselves for the next few years. Like, I don't like Gardner's a solid player, but two first round picks, I think they would have been better off. And they thought they had a good team, like they were when they made that trade. But I just would not make that trade unless I felt like I had the quarterback for the next 10 years. Because you make that trade to contend for Super Bowls. And the truth is, and I think deep down Daniel Jones is not a Super Bowl winning quarterback.
Last year the last podcast I did last year with my buddy, uh we got into a heated debate and I thought AR was a lot better and I had to put my foot in my mouth and I will not say anything about that because every time I say something about a quarterback, it goes the opposite way. But I think we have a guy in uh, Danny Dimes. So I mean, I don't know. We were 8-2 last year. 8-2. One of the favorites to win the Super Bowl. Then we lose against the Chiefs. Uh,
And I think,
then
if I recall, that was a close game, wasn't it? That Chiefs game?
yeah, we didn't know how to run the ball in the second half.
Yeah.
And he also uh, Daniel Jones also had a broken part of his leg too. Then the next
Mhm.
game he goes on and tears his ACL against the Jags. So and we lose. We were I think 7-1 at one point. Then we lost the last few games. We were 1 and so we were 7-1. Then we went 1-8. So I mean,
One thing about the Colts is I think they got a lot of good players on the roster, and I'm not saying Daniel Jones is complete trash,
yeah,
but he's not going to win you a Super Bowl. You know what I mean? I think he's like in the Baker Mayfield class. Like, Baker Mayfield's a darn good quarterback, but I will never see Baker Mayfield holding the Lombardi trophy up. So I look forward to I think the Colts are probably going to keep Daniel Jones for a few years,
we've got
and
to sign for about 4.
they're going to be stuck in mediocrity. And I think I'm looking at the Jags as I think Trevor Lawrence and Liam Cohen could be nice this year, but the Texans, if they can get any resemblance of the first 2 years of CJ Stroud, I think the Texans are going to be really tough because they got the best defense in the league. And one thing I did see today, Tank Dell is back in form. It's like he took Charlie Kirk's leg or something. He's got a new leg because that thing was gone, broken into pieces. He must have took somebody's leg because he's looking crazy out there. I think, and CJ Stroud with Tank Dell, that was a nice combo. Um, I'm excited to see how the Texans roll this year. I think that's why I think in the Titans, you got to think Robert Saleh. Like Cam Ward, I think realistically will be the best quarterback in that division by maybe not this year, but
Okay.
next year. Next year, I think Cam Ward will be the best quarterback in that division because he made some crazy plays. And if he gets any resemblance of competency around him and the receivers with coaching, O line, Cam Ward will be easily better than Trevor Lawrence and CJ Stroud and Daniel Jones.
I 100% agree on that. I mean, he's the plays he made against the Colts when they were playing against when the Colts were at the Titans. I mean, he made some incredible throws.
Crazy.
I really thought he was down a few times and
Yeah.
just slinging the rock, and somehow he scores every time. It's just insane.
And can you name one of his receivers?
No,
That's
I
what I'm
actually can't.
saying.
I can't
I
be.
can't either.
I can't even name anybody on the Titans. I used to. All I know was Marcus Mariota was let down against with the Titans. So
I know they signed a lot of defensive players. I know they got Robert Saleh, so I know for a fact the Titans defense will be top 15. The Titans will have a top 15 defense. Now the numbers might be a little bit less. It depends how the offense does because the offense and defense go together. You can have a great defense, but if you have a shitty offense that makes you have to be on defense the entire game, then your defense is going to look worse than it actually is. So I'm looking to see, quarterback's best friend is blocking in a run game. So I'm hoping to see the Titans really develop a good run game and some good enough pass blocking, and then hopefully they can get some receivers down the line. But first, they just got to protect him, or else he's going to be cooked. So now I think Daniel Jones. I don't know. The Colts could either be the third team or they could be the first team, and it's hard to tell. But if I'm betting
yeah,
money, on it, I'm taking third because
you're
I
taking
trust.
third.
I think Shane Steichen's actually a solid offensive coach. He's a good offensive coach. I don't think he should be fired necessarily. I
Hmm.
Ballard should be fired because
Yeah,
he's not putting the best pieces around him, and I really hate that Sauce Gardner trade. And for one, you're gonna have to pay the guy. You're gonna have to overpay the guy, and he didn't produce last year, injuries, but he hasn't
Sauce
produced.
didn't produce. Are you saying that?
They didn't lead to wins necessarily. I'm not gonna say he didn't produce, but you guys traded for him, and then it just. I know there's a lot of injuries going on,
Everything
but
just fell apart. I mean, after that bye week, everything literally just fell apart.
if you're making that trade for Sauce, you got to expect you can't be. Oh, I hope we're not third place. You got to be Super Bowl contenders trading two first round
Yeah.
picks.
You also got
So,
to think that that was a freak accident, basically. That how Daniel tore his ACL, just literally took a step back and it was torn. I
yeah.
mean, but they were looking to be one of the favorites, and I really thought that we might have gone to the Super Bowl or done some of
Mm.
the playoffs. But I really think that we're a playoff team. But
I think you guys could be because I do think coaching matters. Steichen is a pretty solid coach. He's a good coach. I think. But I mean, D'Amico Ryans is a good coach, and so is Liam Cohen. And the jump Trevor Lawrence made with Liam Cohen last year is insane. What they win,
yeah,
like 13, 14 games?
I
And
believe so.
The Texans, when it came playoff time, they were pretty rocky in the regular season, but they ended up making it. And they ended up putting some good performances defensively. They destroyed the Steelers. They made Aaron Rodgers look like he didn't belong on the football field, right? And I don't think the Colts would have done that in the playoffs, to be honest. I think, the Colts, what's their identity going into this year? Are they going to be a run the ball team? Are they going to be a passing team like the Texans? They have their defense. And the Jaguars, they know they're going to be throwing the ball with Trevor Lawrence. What are the Colts going to do this year?
I really think it's going to be running the ball. I mean, we've got three running backs like Jonathan Taylor, DJ Giddens has came, Seth Grothman has been insane, and it's training camp though. I mean, you can't really base anything off of training camp. But with Alec Pierce, if Alec Pierce can be ready by week one, and
What do you
Josh
think about that
Downs,
contract?
I think
That,
we
that
overpaid a little bit, but It's the Chris Ballard way. Somebody has a good few seasons and we overpay them.
Well, that's what
Uh,
I'm saying. The Colts got a lot of good things, but the Chris Ballard way is what screwed him up.
is
Like
we like our guys. We're gonna keep with our guys. We like our guys. That's all I've
they're kind
heard
of
for
like the
so many
Cowboys.
years.
They're kind of like the Cowboys. And the thing the Cowboys do is they wait too long to pay their guys. It's okay to keep your guys,
Yeah.
but don't wait to the last year in the contract. Pay them early so you pay them less in the long run.
Hmm.
And I think that contract really is gonna they're not gonna be able to put money in other places that they'll need.
Oh yeah.
Um, which could really hurt them. And it's like Sauce Gardner's going to get a lot of money, let alone the 2 first-round picks. What do you think you would get if you tried trading Sauce Gardner right now? I don't. I would be. It'd be hard to get a first-round pick. I think.
I think no. I think you get a first round pick. You don't get two. I mean, you don't get two. I think you get a first, a player, maybe a third or a fourth,
That's what I'm saying. I don't think you
but
get more than a first. I
you get a
think
first and a player and maybe a later round draft pick. But
a
that
good,
two
good
first
player.
round, a good, I say a solid role player. Like a player, if he was in the right system, he could be a Pro Bowler. I don't know about an All Pro, but he could be a Pro Bowler if he was in the right system. If we traded for a guy, I think he could be a Pro Bowler, and we'll probably get like a late round pick. Maybe the highest I see the second pick we get if we trade Sauce was a third or fourth.
Overall pick
No, 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 like
round.
rounds. Like we'll get a
Okay.
first round pick out of Sauce, but the second pick we get is probably a third or fourth round. If
Mm,
we're lucky, then we'll get a solid role player that could be a Pro Bowler. But I also think the Pro Bowl is a bunch of baloney now since we had
yeah,
that
it
Ravens
is kind of
backup
large. Yeah.
come in. I mean, that was insane. Then don't get me wrong, I love Minshew, but he was not a Pro Bowl candidate, dude. I mean, he was not. Yeah. But I want to hear more about the Patriots, man. Like
So the
that Super Bowl
Patriots.
loss was it was good to watch it. It was so fun to
It
watch the
wasn't good to watch
Patriots.
for me. And honestly, the whole playoff run, they made the Super Bowl, but it wasn't exactly quite how dominant you want it.
Hmm.
And I think I'm going into this season, I feel obviously great about Drake May. I think he is the quarterback for 20 years. And with AJ Brown, you think he was almost won MVP last year? I'm putting it right now. Drake May is winning MVP, and AJ Brown is going to be top 3 in receiving yards. I think he's going to dominate this year. I think Drake May is getting 40 plus touchdowns easy. We have a number one receiver now, and Kayshon Boutte, he makes George Pickens type catches. He makes acrobatic catches, and I think you're about to see him in that number 2 role, and he's going to be. I think Kayshon Boutte gets a minimum of 950 receiving yards this year and 10 tutties. I think he's going to get a lot of tutties because he makes those contested catches. You're going to see a lot of fade balls going to Boutte and Brown. You can't cover those two like on the same team. I think Bootie's going to have a great year this year. He's young. AJ Brown with a new mind. He loves Brable. AJ Brown in Tennessee put up numbers with trash quarterback play. Now he's going to have a guy who was second in MVP voting. It's going to be insane to watch. Um,
Hey, don't diss on Marcus like that though. Don't diss on Marcus Mariota like that.
I mean,
Don't diss on him like that. The
I'm not
Titans
going
let
to
him
diss on
down.
him, but he's
Titans
not
let
Drake
Marcus
May.
Mariota down. That's all I can say is Titans let Marcus Mariota down. But sorry to cut you off there. I just had to say, don't diss on
No,
my boy
hey,
Marcus.
listen. I understand you got to protect Oregon players. And I think Gonzalez, if he's fully healthy, he's going to be a beast. I think I would love to have more beef in the secondary. I'd love another good corner to pair with Gonzalez, especially with Gonzalez being a little injury prone. But man, when
Yeah,
he's
that's
on the
true. Yeah.
field, he's on the field. I think he's the best corner in the league, easily, even better than Surtain. I think I trust him locking up a number one. Our defense isn't a lot of big names, but it's like how Belichick was. They all play their roles how they need to, and they play great defensive football. They play great team football. Special teams, defense, offense, it's all sound, very disciplined. Um, I expect great coaching as we had last year, and when you have great coaching, you're going to be good no matter what.
Yeah.
So I think in our division, looking at it, you got the Dolphins, you got the Jets. You got the Bills with a new coach, which the Bills got Josh Allen. I think the Patriots coming into year two under Mike Vrabel are going to be even better than last year. The first year with coaching, like I expect the Bears to be even better than last year because second year under the Ben Johnson system, they're only going to get better. Um, I'm really excited to see Drake May and AJ Brown. My only concerns, I have a little concerns over the O line because the O line is pretty much what lost in the Super Bowl last year. I'm really hoping Will Campbell fixes his shit because he was like the third or fourth overall pick, and he looked trash last year towards the end. So they signed a O lineman from the Jets. I'm hoping that that depth helps. They also spent their first round pick on an O lineman, so I think we should be okay on the O line part. Is the corner? If we could somehow, if the Patriots did the Sauce Gardner trade right now, I would look at it totally different than the Colts doing it because I didn't feel like the Colts were a Super Bowl contender when they made that trade. I'd never trusted Daniel Jones. That's why they had a good record, but I felt, remember the year Tom Brady's last year on the Patriots? They went 8-0 to start the year, but I knew the Patriots were not good that year. And what they do? They lost to the Titans the first game they played. It was terrible. Belichick got out coached by Mike Vrabel. That's why I was so excited when we hired Mike Vrabel because Mike Vrabel's a dang good coach.
Did you
And
see Jalen put your left tackle in a spin cycle? Have you seen that clip?
I haven't seen that clip. I don't want to see
He
that
put him
clip.
in the spin cycle. So I mean, I really do hope that left tackle.
Will
Uh,
Campbell.
yeah, really hope that he finds a way to be in this league because he's a good dude. That interview that he did at LSU, that was a great interview of him explaining like you gotta beef up, you gotta be strong. And I
And
mean,
his draft day interview, like he's gonna die for Drake May. Well,
yeah,
dude, you need to do something about it because you're killing
for real,
him.
for real.
Like, man.
So moving on to the Raiders. Were you a
Mm.
big IU fan?
Yeah, I liked IU last year. I'm excited to see Mendoza play. Now they're getting in scruffles. Mendoza ain't, but Max Crosby's beating the shit out of Kirk Cousins. What do you think about that?
It's intensity. It's two guys that love football. I mean, you want to have a little
Yeah,
scuffles. Probably
I don't
not your
mind.
quarterback, you know.
Yeah,
Stay away
yeah.
from the quarterback. But I mean, you want scuffles. I mean, you don't want like full on fist fights. You want scuffles where they're just like throwing haymakers at each other.
And
But
that's
you
gonna happen.
don't.
Yeah,
But you don't want haymakers with your quarterback. But I think that team's gonna be it's gonna be a fun team. It's not gonna be a team where you're like, oh, this team is gonna be no. It's gonna be a fun team. I don't really see Mendoza playing a whole lot this year. He might come in,
I think it'll come like that. How Mahomes played like he started like week 14, 15 or something like
yeah,
that.
like the end of the
Alex gonna
week,
start the entire year.
yeah,
Yeah, I
like
think
because I think they were like number one or something very like high up that year with when Alex Smith was playing. But I really hope Mendoza, works out. Now, this sounds bad. I am an IU football fan, but I'm not as big as I am as IU basketball fan. We'll get into IU basketball
I
later
love
on in
IU
the year,
basketball. Yeah, I'm
but
excited for the season.
I never watched IU football really growing up, to be honest. Like we'd watch the first like few
Yeah,
games or so. I remember Nate Stutfeld going off against Ohio State. There's a few other guys. That number 21, that used to be the quarterback. Man, I wish I could remember his name right now. If this was like 2 months ago, I could probably tell you it.
yeah. I,
But
I would only watch the IU football games like in person, a little bit on TV, but it's in person. They used to be super cheap. You just go to the
oh
IU
yeah,
football games,
yeah.
and I was always watching IU basketball because listen, we're a basketball state,
I still think
and
we're a basketball state,
we are
even though they just won a national champion.
we are
IU is a
always.
basketball state. I haven't really watched like growing up. We'd watch the first two quarters or maybe like a little bit in the third. But we'd either turn it off, change it to a different channel like Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State, guys like that, or we'd go do something outside. It wasn't like, oh, IU football's on. Like I remember my dad's like, oh, IU football's on. Turn on,
And you remember the year with Tom Allen, they went like eight
dude.
and four. They went like 8-4 or something like that. And I was so happy.
Yeah.
I was like, we're competing. Like we almost
Then
like
COVID
were
came
ranked.
around. They had that Cinderella story. Then they lost against Ohio State. I really think if it's the 2021 season, I believe it is. If McFadden didn't get kicked out of that game, and there's some ball knowledge for those people that say I don't watch,
Yeah.
well, ain't a big fan of IU football. If McFadden didn't get thrown out of the game against Cincinnati for a dumb call. That was not a helmet on helmet collision, but I think IU wins against Cincinnati and they keep going down, but Penix would always get hurt. I felt like. I mean,
Yeah.
he's still injury
He's
prone
still
in the
getting hurt.
NFL.
He's a walking cast, ain't he?
But if McFadden did not get thrown out of that game, I see Indiana steamrolling their
Yeah.
way. Not steamrolling. They weren't gonna be the dog crap of Cincinnati, but I see them steamrolling Cincinnati, like winning the game and winning a few more games, being in the top 25. But to be honest, it takes one game. Like,
Momentum
I
carries
mean,
you
look at
through the
look at
entire season.
look at the Colts. I mean, yeah, we lost our number one quarterback. Had to go to the third string. Then had to go with Phil Rivers. But it takes one game to change like a whole season, basically. Like you got if you beat this team that you were not supposed to beat, the whole season's gonna turn around. I mean,
And I gotta appreciate shout out Philip Rivers, man. I
yeah,
really enjoyed watching him play this past season. Like obviously he's not who he used to be, but man, he played better than AR. And
yeah,
he came off the couch. He was retired. He was literally like almost eligible. I think he was eligible for the Hall of Fame
he
already.
was.
And
Wait, yeah, I think so. Yeah,
and he literally just came off the couch. He's a top 10 in passing yards and touchdowns. And he said, "You know what? I was born to do this. I can do this at 60, and maybe you're
yeah.
gonna see Tom Brady come back almost
I
because
don't think Tom Brady's coming back, but
he's not. But
that that Phil Rivers come back. There was no way we're going to the playoffs, to be honest. But it was so fun. It was so nice to have a quarterback talk on the offensive line. Like we have quarterbacks that talk. They're like, oh, check. No, he was like calling out, like, hey, that guy's blitzing. Hey, actually, you know what? We're gonna do a whole different other play. Like it was
yeah,
so relief of him just like talking.
it reminded me of Andrew Luck and Peyton Manning.
It
You know,
that and it just reminded me of
Manning's
like my
offense.
childhood of just like how the quarterbacks would talk. Like you hear Tom yell at Gronk to stand up, stuff
Yeah,
like that.
Gronk,
Like,
Jules, get in the slot. Jules,
yeah,
cussing him out. I love that.
yeah, and we just don't have that. It's like this, like green 180, green 180. Just like no, I
Half these
want,
guys go into the NFL and they don't even have a snap count. They just clap.
yeah. Well,
Like Jackson Dart.
that's what college does though.
They're
It's like a
dumbing
clap thing.
down. They're dumbing down the actual mental aspects of the game, like that Peyton Manning and Tom Brady grew up in, to because it's becoming more athletic. The quarterbacks are on average way more athletic, but they're dumbing down the mental aspects of the game, and they're not truly commanding offenses in a lot of cases. But that's what I like about Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson. He has the athleticism, but Ben Johnson is going to equip Caleb Williams to command the offense
Hmm.
like the quarterbacks we've seen growing up,
Oh yeah.
and that's also the same thing with Drake May. Mike Vrabel's given Drake May more command over the offense. Well, more so Josh McDaniels is Josh McDaniels' offense, and he's given Drake May more command like Tom Brady had. But a lot of these guys, you're not really seeing that with. It's a travesty. It's dumbing down the game. It's making the game worse for the quarterbacks in the long run. Because if you teach them to control the game and play it like a chess match, they'll become better in the long run. They'll be harder for them in the beginning, and they might play a little bit worse in the beginning because they're trying to learn all this information. But overall, they become better quarterbacks by commanding the offense.
Oh yeah. I just, I mean, there's so much I want to say about this. Like growing up, I used to be like a nerd. Like I loved learning everything about football, like the signs they would do in like college. Like they don't like they do the signs still, but they've got
Yeah.
the green dot now, and it's kind of like the fun out of football. I mean, they
Mhm.
still do the signs. They do still do some hand motions too.
Yeah.
Like if you ever go to a game, always look to the sideline. They're gonna do some hand motion, and that's when they do fast pace or they're like they might be doing a play call, but sometimes the wide receiver might need like a little more like assurance, like, oh, what was that play? And he look. But back in the day, like watching Oregon, first down or like a few yards, they're looking at the sideline. They got another play. Like they had speed. That's what I kind of miss about college football, where it kind of like it felt like everybody was in a hurry still.
Hmm.
Like there were some teams they slow it down, but Oregon was fast. It was like, hey, we're gonna first down, get to the line, or we get 3 yard, 3 yards, get to the line, and like you'd see it like Ohio State and all them. They get to the line, they look over, they're like, oh, okay, yeah, we get that now. It was like urgency. Now it's like, hey, let's huddle up. The play calls this, and it's like running down until like all the way to the last second. It felt like every time, but back then college
Yeah.
felt like it was just a lot. Sport felt like it was a lot faster. If that was just me,
No,
just
I
being a
totally see
Ducks
that.
fan, but it
No,
was
I
just
totally
it
see
felt a
that.
lot faster.
No, I agree. Um, College football used to be a lot different than it is now. Do you think college football is better off as it is now or worse?
Worse. I don't like the
Yeah.
NIL. Like I do, I want the players to get paid. I mean, they get free college, but they're also like hurting the bodies out here.
I like the
But
NIL, but I hate the transfer portal.
I'd love to transport her actually. I got Booger Nix, Dylan Gabriel and
Well,
Dante
IU was
Moore.
made through the transfer portal, so
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna say I hate it. I just wish I don't know. I wish there's a little bit more regulation, like maybe you can only transfer one time or something like that.
Hmm.
I think they'll work on that. But I saw Oregon. They one of the few Dante Moore could have been drafted this year and he
Yeah.
stayed with you guys. So
Yeah.
are you excited to see him another
Dante
year?
Moore is gonna be insane, I think. We actually just found out that Jordan Davis is there's a big thing today with Jordan Davis that he was hurt, that he broke his collarbone. He broke his collarbone last year against the Texas Tech. Found out that he did not break his collarbone. Somehow it was reported that he was hurt. So that's a relief. But
Yeah.
man, dude, Dante Moore, that game against Penn State, it looked like he was riding the bus. I mean, there's a video of just him just like no thought behind his eye. I'm like, we're losing this game. We're losing this game. It's over. It's Joe over. I'll see you later. No, he goes out there and puts on a good performance. I mean, he wasn't excited. He wasn't sad. I want more Dante Moore just being excited to be like happy he's there. That like this is fun. But it looks like more than half the time looked like he was riding the
Still,
bus.
yeah.
And like stone, like you want you guy to be kind of stone cold, but you also want him to have some reaction.
Tom Brady had a lot of motion on the
Oh
sidelines.
yeah,
Peyton Manning, you'd see him yelling at Jeff Saturday like you got to care
run the
about the
ball.
team.
And he's like, I'll
Yeah.
run the ball. I'll call a play. I'll run it. Trust me. But it is something kind of nice to have a quarterback. Like we had Andrew Luck. Like I had Andrew Luck, where he's just like, hey guys, good job.
And every time Andrew Luck would get tackled, I heard he was always be like say the nicest
Yeah,
things.
that I mean
You
that was
know?
nice to have like a different like that, but I feel like Andrew Luck just needed to get on some people. Oh, we're running out of time soon. We got about 10 minutes until this is over. Sorry about that. I only got a 40
You're good.
minute,
Hey,
but
we'll get her in
yeah, we'll
there.
get her up
I
there. We'll
think
get her up
Dante
there
Moore, I think he would have been the second quarterback taken in last year's draft
to the
behind
Jets.
Mendoza.
I don't think he wanted to go to the Jets.
Yeah, and well, maybe
Would
he
you go
wouldn't have
to
been
the
picked.
Jets?
I wouldn't go to the Jets. Do
Okay.
you think he would have been drafted by the Rams though? Do you think the Rams would have took Dante Moore over Ty Simpson?
No, I don't think Dante Moore would have fallen that far.
Well, the Rams took Ty Simpson at 11 or 13. Do you
Yeah, I
think the
don't.
Jets would have took him before then?
Yeah, I think
Oh,
somebody would have
okay.
picked him up. I think somebody would have picked him up,
Yeah,
at least in
okay.
the top five. But
I
Dante
would have
Moore
loved to
was
see
the
him
other
on the
year.
Rams though. I
Yeah,
think
I
he's
mean,
better than Ty Simpson.
oh yeah. Okay, so moving on to the front, I want to know what's your opinion about IU's defensive line with those two guys come back, Stephon Daly and Wyatt coming back. Stephon Daly got hurt in the Big Ten
Hmm.
championship game. Uh, Wyatt got hurt a few games like in the middle of the season, maybe 4 games in or so.
Hmm.
But
So
Wyatt
I'm
missed like
looking.
the whole season almost.
I look at Signetti as like a Belichick, Nick Saban type. That it doesn't even really matter too much, especially on the defensive side. Who's really all there? I just trust the coaching to just produce an elite defense every time they step on the field, let alone when you know that you have guys coming back from last year that you know are going to play great, I feel like IU should be the number one choice for being the number one national championship pick. For one, they're the defending national champions.
Yeah.
And I am really excited to see the quarterback we got from TCU. You see how far Mendoza developed from how he's playing in Cal to when he got with really good coaching with Signetti. I'm really excited. I think Signetti is just it's like being a Patriots fan. I felt secure every year going into it seems like we have all these guys and a lot of people don't really know who they are outside of IU fans.
Yeah.
They're not like highly touted recruits or draft picks, but me and you both know the defense is going to be elite. There's not going to be a lot of penalties. We're going to run the ball. We're going to be efficient in the pass game. We're going to block and we're going to play nasty and we're not going to give up leads. IU is not going to blow leads. They're going to play the entire whistle. So I just feel great going into the season for IU, especially with those two guys returning.
I I have got like no words for that IU defense. They're gonna be good every year with Signetti. What really sold me on Cincinnati, like I love Tom Allen. I love defense. I love when a defensive coordinator becomes a head coach. I love it. Just love and breathe defense. Like
Yeah, look at
hits,
Mike McDonald.
pop somebody in the mouth. Like Dan
Yeah,
Lanning was the defensive coordinator for
same.
Georgia, and just I remember the first few games. I was like, okay, he's pretty good. And I was like, okay, his defense is. I'm gonna say it's old school. Basically, we're gonna pop you in the mouth. We're gonna send pressure more than half the game. And if you can handle it, you can handle it. If you
Yeah,
can't, you can't. In that game against Ohio State 2 years ago, man, that was just special teams, and the offense really couldn't move the ball. The defense was there. The defense was there. It was just the special teams mistakes. I mean, just look at the. Gonna be honest with you, just look at the Oregon game. Like that pick six first play, insane. Then Dante Moore doesn't look like he cares. That was a pick
yeah,
six. Goes down there, scores 7-7. Then the wheels just falls off basically.
yeah,
Like that should have been a fumble when Mendoza fumbled the ball, hits off the lineman's hands, hits off his hands, hits off the lineman's hands again, and Mendoza picks it up. I look at my buddy, I go, "That's game." He goes, "What?" I go, "If that was anybody else, if that was the Ohio State, if that was Penn State, if that was Alabama, they would have lost that fumble." They punt it, first play. Dante Moore goes the whole, handed off the hill, fakes it, throws it, hits off the hill's pads, fumble. And I was like, yeah, that's over. And they're like, man, we got a whole half to play. I was like, no, dude, it's duck fashion, man. We always go
yeah.
out in a ball of fire of our own mistakes. I mean, look at the Ohio State game a few years back. We just couldn't do it. Then, uh,
And Indiana is one of those teams which you never would have thought growing up. They're not going to blow the lead. I think if you could ask anyone, even like an Ohio State, even an Oregon fan like yourself,
yeah,
who's least likely to blow a lead that they have, they would probably say IU coached by Kurt Signetti
yeah.
because them boys are not going to let off the gas. So once you give them the lead, I think teams mentally they're just going to start shutting down because they know they're not going to get the lead back. They done gave up the lead. They're probably going to lose the game, and it's going to affect them mentally. And it's just going to create like when you go in playing the Patriots, you're like, dang, I'm playing Tom Brady and Belichick. I'm cooked. They're mentally defeated before they walk on the field,
Mm-hmm.
and I think IU is going to have that same effect on a lot of teams.
All right, now we're down to the final minute. I've got this new segment I'm trying, so we're gonna do the final minute, and that's where you basically get 1 minute. I'll set it on my phone, and you can talk about whatever you want. If you want to talk about the Patriots one last time, or just have a little rant about anything about sports, even if we didn't talk about it. But you are on the clock starting now.
All right, guys. So I'm excited for LeBron on the 76ers. I'm sure you saw that.
This
Um,
guy.
this guy. Now, I think it all boils down to if they have a solid backup center because I don't think Embiid's going to be healthy. So I think if they could even get, Andre Drummond, just someone solid enough to be there to be a starting level guy in case not in case because Embiid's going to get hurt. I'm
Hmm.
looking for the 76ers to win the championship, but I'm curious to see how they all gel together. Tyrese Maxey, he's a number one scorer, really. Jalen Brown, he literally left Boston because he wanted to be a number one scorer. Like he was beefing with Jason Tatum, he was happy that Jason Tatum was hurt, and so Edgecombe, like Embiid, he's a MVP. How are they all going to fit together? I'm excited to see how that happens, and I'm also excited to see LaMelo Ball and Anthony Edwards paired together. I'm not saying they're going to win a championship, but that's exciting to see.
And your time's up, man. That was pretty good. I actually like the segment. You just do 1 minute of just going, just
Yeah,
let them go. But this has been a fun podcast, man. We got to
I
do
had a
this
great
again
time.
sometime.
It flew
Uh,
by.
Dude, it did. I literally looked down. I was like, man, we're 20 minutes into this. Then I got like 10 minutes later, I get, hey, you have 10 minutes left. And I was like, crap. Then I looked down and we had like 3 minutes to go. And I was like, oh, we better wrap this up soon.
I think this was a
But
great podcast, man.
yeah,
I
I hope
love
to
this
do this
episode.
again. Hopefully, we'll do this in a few more weeks. I do want to get you in right before the season start.
I'd love
Uh,
that.
and go through who we think are going to win against, like what the Pat schedule is, what the Colts schedule
That
is,
would be awesome.
and
That'd be
have a little
awesome.
bit of that and just go back and forth. But hopefully, I have you on again.
You
Hopefully,
definitely will, man. I love this.
yeah.
I love this. I love talking ball.
Oh
Maybe
yeah.
one day me and you will be getting paid millions of dollars to do this.
I
I
don't
think
think
we
so,
will.
but I love it. If, I love it when I don't get paid to do this. But
Yeah, this is no work. Like I do this in my free time, you know?
yeah.
It's like this is
But
crazy.
thanks for coming on, man. Dude, this has been a blast.
This has been a blast, man. I loved coming on here, man. Thank you for having me.
Always, dude. This is Couchside coverage with Kika Jackson.
And Wesley
Ha-
Hallatt.
Have a good one.
We see it.
That was great.